In 1792, the American Secretary of State was secretly funding a muckraking newspaper for one specific purpose: to destroy the very government he was serving. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is the story of how Thomas Jefferson and Alexander Hamilton nearly burned the American experiment to the ground before the ink on the Constitution was even dry. We are often told that the Founding Fathers were a united front of enlightened geniuses. But inside George Washington's first cabinet, it was a toxic war zone. These two men didn't just disagree on policy, they believed the other represented an existential threat to the Republic. To understand why this beef was far worse than you thought, we have spent weeks unearthing the private letters, the dirty press campaigns, and the secret scandals that defined their rivalry. Their conflict wasn't just a personal spat. It was a battle for the soul of a nation that was still deciding what it wanted to be. Hamilton was the immigrant upstart, a man of the city who saw America's future in the crowded streets of New York and the gears of manufacturing. He wanted a strong, centralized federal power to ensure survival. Jefferson, the Enlightenment philosopher from the Virginia frontier, saw a mercantile nightmare. He dreamed of an agrarian empire of liberty, populated by independent farmers, and he viewed Hamilton's centralized treasury as a corrupt return to British-style monarchy. The tension eventually moved beyond the cabinet room and into the streets, fueled by an 18th century version of cancel culture. Both men used party organ newspapers to launch venomous attacks. Hamilton called Jefferson an elite who only pretended to love the common man, while Jefferson described Hamilton's ideas as shilly-shally, things of mere milk and water. The gloves came off entirely when personal secrets became political weapons. Jefferson's hand-picked journalist, James Callender, exposed Hamilton's affair with Maria Reynolds, forcing the Treasury Secretary to admit to paying hush money to a blackmailer to save his political life. Hamilton fired back by referencing rumors of Jefferson's own secret relationship with his slave, Sally Hemings, an open secret at Monticello that Jefferson would never publicly acknowledge. The most cinematic irony of this rivalry is the great hypocrisy. Jefferson, the man who championed strict construction and argued that the government could only do what was explicitly written in the Constitution, would eventually abandon his own values. In 1803, when Napoleon offered him the Louisiana Territory, Jefferson realized that doubling the size of the nation was more important than his own philosophical consistency. He used a power grab he once would have called tyrannical to secure his vision of a farming utopia. But their real legacy isn't just the two-party system or the maps we use today. It is the invention of image control. Thomas Jefferson was a master of indirection, a man who designed his own tombstone to play up his philosophical achievements while carefully downplaying the disgusting parts of his political life. He died on the 50th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence, just 5 hours before Hamilton's other great rival, John Adams. Their fight never truly ended. Every time we argue about the reach of the federal government or the divide between urban and rural America, we are simply living in the architecture of their original conflict. We are still the children of their chaos.